Okay, I picked out a couple of these to do together. So first, let's start with this first section. How many sig figs? Review the sig fig rules on your notes. I have a summary right here. So sig figs include all numbers 1 to 9. So everything that's not a zero. It includes sandwiched zeros, which means zeros that are between other sig figs, and zeros at the end, or we might say trailing zeros, with a decimal point. They are not trailing zeros without a decimal point, and also not leading zeros. So let's look at number 4 and number 5 here. First of all numbers 1 to 9, I'm going to put check marks above. So the 9, the 1, and the 1. Then it says sandwiched zeros. So I'm going to put the one that's in between. That is significant. And then zeros at the end, trailing with a decimal. I look at this number, I don't see a decimal point. So this is a trailing one at the end, but there is no decimal point. So it is not significant. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 sig figs here. Number 5, let's start with all numbers 1 to 9. Sandwich zeros. And now zeros at the end, trailing zeros with a decimal. There is a decimal, and so both of these, the trailing zeros include any that are together at the end, no matter where they are, if they're at the very end, and there is a decimal point. So they all count this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's try number 10. So anytime you see a scientific notation number, they are all significant. It turns out that way as long as we are following the 1 to 10 rule. So you'll always find that all numbers 1 to 9, zeros between, and any zeros at the end, there is always a decimal point. So yes, trailing zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4 sig figs on this one. The times 10 part is sort of like the placeholder zeros, or if in this case they move this here, so the leading zeros. So we don't have to worry about anything with scientific notation. They're all significant. Let's try number 12. So I'm going to start with my all numbers 1 to 9. Sandwiched zeros, or zeros between. And zeros at the end with a decimal. There's no decimal, so that one is not significant. That is a trailing zero without a decimal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice that the zeros between, there are 2 between, they're between. Those both count. Let's also try number 16. Starting again, all numbers 1 to 9. Sandwich zeros. There's no sandwiched zeros here, since there's not a sig fig on the other side. Zeros at the end, trailing with a decimal. No, there's none at the end. There is a decimal, but there's no trailing zeros after that one. So let's double check. Trailing zeros without a decimal and not leading zeros. These are leading zeros, so they are not significant. So just one here.